Hi there. Welcome back. Thank you for being here and thank you for liking and subscribing to my new YouTube channel, Cardinal Collective. I'm here today to do a reading for us, and I'm also in process of experimenting with how to record in here. I've been using my phone, and this is actually my laptop camera with the little mic that I already have. So I'm hoping that this setup works a little bit better and that I can keep using the mic that I've been working with until I can look into what might be a better one to use ongoing. And I've got some exciting readings planned coming up. I'm going to be going to a really cool location around here and recording a few readings from that spot. So stay tuned. That'll be, about 3 or 4 weeks out from now, but I'm really excited about it. Um, and I think for today, I'm just going to do a reading for us about what might be a message from our inner child. And then I might actually add on to it as well a Lenormand Grand Tableau after that, just for kicks. I don't know. We'll see how it feels after doing this layout. What's something that could benefit you in terms of understanding an aspect of your inner child? This is a similar reading to the shadow spread that I do, only it's specific to an inner child, not necessarily. Some of our shadow sides are not inner children, right? But might be a helpful message to you from your inner child. And if you have any requests for layouts, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and ask. And somebody asked me in my comments in a few readings back if I do personal readings, and I do personal readings. I have a website with a booking tool where you can go and schedule. So if you're interested, I encourage you to look that up. They're just online. I don't do in-person readings right now, but they're online via platform, via video in person. Okay, so anyways, what's a message from your inner child? What would it help you to know? So this column over here is representing what we're conscious of, what you're conscious of, and over here is going to represent a message from our inner child that they would like us to know. So on this column, we have in your mind card number 20, Awakening, which is judgment in the typical sort of Rider-Waite style tarot. And so you are very conscious right now that you're going through a massive shift in your reality, whether that's something that has come after some really hard lessons. A judgment day is often that has a judgment day is a really like a day of reckoning. And so you in your waking life, what you've been heavily on your mind is going through this judgment day. So you might have been determining some finalities in your relationships or in your work or both. It could be any number of things, but there's a very clear change from before to what you're trying to do now, and it's usually a healing element, like you're either eradicating things from your life that don't work, or you may be being sort of removed from somebody's life, right? It can be either way. Um, and what's happening in your heart is that you're very clear about these decisions and these changes that are going on. You have clarity in your emotional heart center about these. It's an interesting card to come up in your heart. It's the Ace of Swords. And so also many readers interpret that when there's an ace in any tarot layout, that it takes precedent over all of the other, like it's sort of the overarching theme for the entire layout. Aces are that powerful in the tarot. So in your heart, you're having like a really pure form of clarity The sword to me sort of hints at the fact that it might have been some clarity that has a tiny bit of a sting to it, but that's very real for you and very clear. And you're very centered and grounded in this kind of turning over or judgment day. So if we want to, we can get more clarification about what kind of a judgment day this is, what kind of a powerful awakening. What your inner child is hoping to convey to you at this time, or what they're um, sort of calling for from you in their mind, is the Nine of Cups. So they're really wanting to have some fun right now. They're desiring a little bit of levity and play, which isn't surprising for an inner child, right? They'd like to have fun. Inner children want to feel joyful and happy and safe and secure, of course, just any child, whether it's an inner child version of you or your child, for example, they um, bring a lot of playfulness into circumstances, and they're really wanting you to maybe ease up on some of this heavy, like, whoa, everything's life and death, or feeling biblical or whatever. They might want a break from some of this and wanting you to take a break. Nine of Cups is a card of like not abandoning your work altogether, but just taking time out to have fun. That's what they're hoping for in their thoughts. And then in their heart is the Magician card. So fun and magic. They're really hoping for, this is very American and cliche, United States centric, but an example of this in pop culture is imagining something like Disney. So the power of imagination, the power of joy, also um, stories and movies and books and things that are made for children are not without sadness. Many of my favorite books as a child growing up were about a child going through a sad time and being comforted or something. So what your inner child is really craving from you is a sense of enchantment and fun right now. They're really wanting you to engage your imagination, take life a little bit less seriously, and have fun. So the center of this, which is where sort of a unification of these two energies can happen, it's interesting. It's a very kind of fraught central column here. So this might be explaining why your inner child is kind of almost maybe getting loud in wanting you to make some time out for fun. Under the surface in the unification column here is the Hermit. So I have a sense that you've been going through a lot of these really big judgment day, major before and after changes. Like you can imagine something like a clarion call or hearing that trumpet of Gabriel, right? That's all very biblical, but that's the judgment card is based on biblical judgment. And so you've been really hearing the call to make these changes. And this is why you've gotten so clear, is because you've been willing to go within and spend time alone. This is the Hermit card in the unseen. The heart of this is the Five of Swords. So you may have this journey of awakening has been a difficult journey, like I suspected with this Ace of Swords in the heart center. Five of Swords is a card of conflict. Maybe you in a fight with someone, or in a fight with yourself, or in a fight with circumstance. The world is very fraught with conflict energy right now, and so that's impacting all of us to varying degrees, whether you're somebody who watches the news or not. It's in the energy in the air. So even if you try to avoid overexposure to media and conflict and everything wrong in the world, it's still impacting you to a certain point, and it's probably catalyzed you to make some changes, this Five of Swords. And now what's on the near future is the Seven of Cups. So you're going to have a lot of choices here, and it's a card of um, there's a little bit of caution around the Seven of Cups, that you might feel like you have too many choices, or you're not sure which way to go, or you might be taking the fact that you have a lot of choices for granted. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers now, um, to see maybe what has this awakening been about you, for you. What is it? What is the life change you're going through? And then we'll get some clarifiers on how. But the clear message from your inner child here is that they need a break from all this. They need some infusion of fun in your life. And that's a healthy message from your inner child. Because if you can imagine taking some time out for fun, and if you can get through the initial, oh, I feel guilty, I shouldn't be having fun while other people are suffering, or if you're kind of struggling with those kinds of thoughts, you can usually get through those fairly early and then drop down into like, it's okay to have, we're meant to have pleasure as well as conflict and change. So I think listening to your inner child here is wise. This will be some clarifying now messages to know how relevant this is for you. What has this judgment been about? Judgment Day and this hard won clarity that you now have in your heart that you're very aware of. What has it been about for you? Who is impacted by this, or what is being impacted in your life? Wow, the Ace of Swords twice here. Um, you've gotten clarity on something, and it's like lightning bolt level of clarity. It's not the Wands card, but still, it's like that kind of, there's really no denying what you're going through here to yourself. And it's about standing your ground. So you've had a judgment day, standing your ground, possibly against sort of the traditional order. The Hierophant can indicate something that's very traditional, like you imagine a priest or something. Well, even from within the Christian faith, people rebelled against early on the Catholic Church, for example, right? So, what I'm having a sense here of is that there's two aces of swords. So, you've had some sort of dazzling or piercing insight about the traditional way that things are done or the way that you've always done things. And you're now recognizing that you may need to be making a shift here, although I'm not sure what the standing your ground is here. What else? What else can we understand? The Five of Swords. What's the Five of Swords? Is that conflict that you've had about tradition or a commitment? The Hierophant can also indicate a commitment. The Hierophant in a judgment day indicates to me that you might be feeling like you're by making that you're going up against a higher law, or that you've been trying to get in harmony with the higher law, maybe. Let's see. A judgment day plus a Hierophant would indicate that to me, that there's some sort of spiritual law that you have a personal relationship with that you might be applying in your current life. What's the Five of Swords? This is about a relationship because here we have the Knight of Wands, which can often be really a passionate love interest. A Knight of Wands is really fiery. They can be very sexual. They can be very magnetic and attractive. And so, this Knight of Wands combined here with the Lover's card means that you're being faced with a decision about a relationship. And to me, this shows that some impact on this decision has to do with tradition and some sort of higher law or going by the book. So this could indicate to me like there might be a cultural difference between you and somebody that you're in a relationship with, or a spiritual religion difference. Like you may have something in your spiritual belief system or higher law that prevents you from this relationship. The Page of Pentacles is here. So this also indicates to me that you might be thinking about coming forward to someone and proposing, honestly, like proposing marriage. The Page of Pentacles can be a card of making an offer, and along with a Hierophant, it could mean something about I want to make a commitment. It doesn't have to be literal marriage, but it might be that you're in conflict about whether to commit. There's a lot of conflicting elements here. There's the wisdom of the mind, then this passionate knight. You've got a lot of options that might be sort of clouding your risking this clarity that you currently have. And then here's your inner child encouraging you to go with your heart. The Nine of Cups is your conscious inner child saying, I want you to go with your heart. I want you to trust the sort of magic that's happening here. What about the Seven of of Cups in the near future and where the energy is headed? What do you need to understand about that Seven of Cups? To me, this has something to do with a relationship, and you're weighing out and trying to decide about a relationship, and it's at a do or die kind of moment for you, is the sense that I have, where you're really trying to move past the buildup. I don't know though, there's a lot of conflicting energy here, and two aces of swords. So whatever it is, you're seeing very clearly, but maybe that's an over, well, I don't know here, because there's just some competing energies. So what's to come in the future of the Seven of Cups is being clarified by the Moon, the Two of Cups, and the King of Wands. So something is going on greater than you as well about this relationship. And now we have here a representation of fairly spiritual masculine energy with the Hierophant, a judgment day, which indicates an adjudication, and a king. Now we have a king here, the King of Wands. But the King of Wands is also a graduation from the Knight of Wands. So what I'm reading here is that you're someone who is in your masculine energy, and you are working through some conflicts around taming some of your passions with this Knight of Wands, finding your way through what your heart wants and what this Ace of Swords is telling you in your logical mind. There's some conflict here. This is about love, and it's about trusting some of the unseen with this moon card here. So the moon can be the unseen, it can be divine feminine energy, and it's in contrast to this masculine energy over here with this judgment day and the Ace of Swords. It's almost like a competition of your mind and your heart, and your inner child is really hoping for you to engage some of the more mysterious dynamics of this with the moon and the magician and the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. So I think by listening to what your inner child is asking of you, you're going to integrate this Five of Swords conflict and feel more harmonized about your options here. The Seven of Cups to me is now showing me that it's not necessarily a negative aspect of the Seven of Cups. You're going to have clarity around the options that you have, especially if you try to integrate and harmonize the Cups energy that's trying to be spoken to you through your inner child and through the Magus. Somebody like a Hierophant is a very by the book male energy. um, a magician is somebody that operates outside of the traditional methods, right? Or, um, I don't know. This is a really super interesting reading. I just have to say that right now. I typically get, to me, this is masculine coming through. So you're someone who's in a more dominant masculine energy in your life. It doesn't have to mean that you identify as a man, but I'm kind of picking up, excuse me, that you might. So now I'm going to pull a couple other cards outside of tarot. What's important to integrate this message from your inner child and all these sort of, it feels to me like a little bit of competing mind and heart energy. You're really trying to stay in clarity of the mind, and your inner child is encouraging you to also drop into your heart. And this Five of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Wands, which is a passion of the sacral chakra. The Lover's card, which is a harmonious, unionizing love, the lovers. It's what you would imagine, right? And then making this offer. It's a new start. What else? What card can I help clarify this? Help clarify this message here. Imagine, this is right in line with the Magus card here, I have a feeling. The card is Imagine. It's card number 20. Oops. In matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person While that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. That's that Page of Pentacles magician energy and into fruition. Relationships are about relating. So step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. So, this is a really positive message. So, don't be troubled too much about this inner conflict with the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Swords. They're very minor compared to all of the other energy present here about a commitment, about love, about trusting your intuition and trusting in magic and your ability to create what you are daydreaming about and what you are imagining. And the Page of Pentacles is encouraging you keep going, move forward, take action, do what you're wanting. Page of Pentacles is a card of taking action. It's in the early stage, but it's a manifester. He's really being empowered by a magician card, being present with him. The magician card is the energy that you're creating and manifesting with your daydreams. The Page of Pentacles is you bringing it into reality, bringing it into fruition, like this Imagine card says. Beautiful, really powerful. I'm loving this message actually. What else can we know here? What else? What are some words to go with this message? My little bird is enjoying this conversation. You might be able to hear him. I don't know though, with the mic, it filters out background noise, so maybe not. Making a bunch of cute little noises. Accept, embrace, and love your heartbreak, love your pain. So I think that's this 5 of Swords and this Judgment Day. You've had to really, a Judgment Day is very much a spiritual, I would almost expect to more see the Death card with this, but to me, um, it's sort of in alignment with the 5 of Swords and this Judgment Day, where you've had to face maybe some harsh realities here. 2 Aces of Swords, right? So you really got clear on some stuff. What universal story or myth is manifest here? Well, we have a lot. We have a lot of archetypes: the Magus, um, the Hierophant, the Moon, the Lovers. There's a lot of really beautiful higher power. Be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. To me, this is a beautiful harmonization of these 3 cards up here: the Moon, the 2 of Cups, which is heart centered emotion and love, and the King of Wands, which is a wise graduation from the Knight of Wands. There's nothing wrong with the Knight of Wands, but he leads with his wand, right? The King of Wands is a little bit more in control of that, but in a healthy way. He doesn't give up his passion. He just is more of a in control of it as a king. Any more info? Maybe I'll pull just a few more cards here. Any more messages from your inner child here? You're doing great work though with these 2 Aces of Swords and a Hierophant. That shows me that you are taking this very seriously. And that's good. I mean, it means that you're not being impulsive. You've put a lot of thought into this. You've allowed yourself to transmute a lot of pain. You're being pretty cautious about moving forward, and it's making sense to me more now because you take this seriously and you've done a lot of hard work. And so it shows me here that you're being very careful before moving forward. Your inner child is wants you to move forward, is excited, is the feeling I have. What else does your inner child say here? Marseille. The King of Cups. Yeah, your inner child is wanting you to connect to your heart center, just like you're connecting to your sacral chakra center with this fire of creativity, creation, and newness. Your inner child wants you to be playful and open-hearted with the King of Cups, right? Wow, this is really powerful. Also with the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is here twice now. This is really beautiful, healthy, unionizing, unifying energy. And the Ten of Swords, your inner child wants you to surrender too. Surrender to any resistance, right? Surrender and let your heart be open, which can mean feeling pain in your heart. If you let your heart open, you sometimes also have to surrender to some painful wounds that your heart um, feels, right? It's amazing. I keep wanting to pull cards because this energy of this reading feels really good as well. So I'll pull a couple hidden truth. What are some hidden truths about this relationship that you're pondering so deeply? It's clear how deeply you've been thinking about this and how much you've allowed it to transform you already. You've been doing really beautiful work. What are some hidden truths about this relationship? My life is not as together as it seems. Hey, mine either. You and I were too young. You've really been thinking about this relationship, worried a little bit that you might be too much in a Knight of Wands energy, and you're a little bit worried about that. But your inner child is also present here, urging you to kind of have some trust. You and I were too young. You've had worries and been not worries, but you've been doing a lot of soul searching about this relationship, wondering what happened in the past, where things might have gotten wrong. I want to be more than friends. So this reflects what you're hoping for and what you're wishing for. And I think what your inner child wants you to surrender to. It's okay. It's okay to surrender to the feelings in your heart and your passions. I notice a little bit of worry here as well about allowing all of this passionate King of Wands and King of Cups energy to flow. You're being urged to surrender to it. This is beautiful, really beautiful reading. So I congratulate you on this reading because to me it indicates that you're headed in a really beautiful direction. You're just going through the steps and the process and being cautious as you go. But you're about to come into a time of allowing this love to flow, embracing the fire element in your sacral chakra, and also embracing the love that you're feeling and surrendering to it. It's okay. It's kind of showing me that it's safe, especially after all of this careful work that you've done. You've really wanted to be careful here, and that really comes through how thoughtful you're being and how careful you're being. And also it shows me a level of respect for the relationship overall that you're being this careful. So I feel a really beautiful energy flowing from this, and I just want to congratulate you and any anyone who may be impacted by this careful approach that you're taking because it's really beautiful and it's very clearly respectful to the relationship. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you much, and stay tuned for more readings and some posts that will be coming along too from some interesting places. I think that's everything.